Simplicity. Spectacular simplicity. Pass and move, that's all it is. That's why you play two-touch in training and one-touch. Because when you play a one-touch and you pass it, you stop, the man who gets the ball doesn't, he gives it away. So that's what helps you pass and move. One-touch football, two-touch. It's so simple.
He is one of the best defenders in the world right now. I have no doubt. These were the words of Xavi Hernandez, a glowing endorsement of his defensive anchor. But this wasn't just a manager praising a right back, because in the very same breath, the tactical reality confirmed the unthinkable. Jules Koundé, a player who openly despised the position, had become the undisputed king of the right flank. How did it come to this?
With Kounde, who has apparently not been happy playing as a fullback as opposed to a centre-back.
You've been playing a lot of games as a fullback. You feel more comfortable maybe as a centre-back. How is your present? How do you see yourself in the next games here in Barcelona?
I will not make any comment on that matter. Thank you.
Okay, so you feel comfortable anyway? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he likes it? Do you think he likes playing a fullback as opposed to centre-back?
Listen, Dan, play whatever the manager asks you to play.
How did Barcelona stop chasing the ghost of Dani Alves by signing a player who is nothing like him? To understand just how wild this transformation is, you have to get what the right-back position meant to FC Barcelona. For 8 years, the Camp Nou was haunted. Since Dani Alves departed in 2016, the club didn't just look for a defender, they looked for a clone.
Why did they let him go in the first place, considering the sort of performances he's been putting in this season?
Sergio Roberto, recycling him from midfield to right back, as it turned out.
They wanted the overlaps, the flair, the chaos. They spent millions on Nelson Semedo. They gambled on Serginho Dest. They tried to convert Sergi Roberto. Every single one failed. Why? Because the ground is never as solid as it seems. In their obsession with replacing Alves' offensive output, they forgot the brutal, unsentimental nature of modern football. You cannot play with two attackers in the fullback positions anymore. For nearly a decade, the criteria for a Barcelona right-back were suicidal. The blueprint was simple: attack like a winger, defend like a ghost. But the game changed. European football evolved into a transition-heavy nightmare for teams that couldn't defend specifically in wide areas. The friction became so intense because the club refused to adapt. They kept signing athletes who could run forward but crumbled when facing the elite wingers of the Champions League. It was a cold, hard financial reality. Barcelona wasted vast sums chasing a tactical profile that no longer worked without Lionel Messi to cover the cracks. And then, the justification. Xavi, and later Hansi Flick, realized that to compete with the likes of Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and Nico Williams, you don't need an overlapping runner, you need a jailer. This is where the story shifts. When Kounde arrived, he was viewed as a center-back. He wanted to play center-back. But the narrative that he is playing out of position is a lie we tell ourselves. The truth is far more interesting. What do you make of this? A Barcelona right-back who barely overlaps? A player who prioritizes defensive shape over crossing? Jules Koundé is the Anti-Alves. While Dani Alves defined his era by being an auxiliary playmaker, Jules Koundé defines his by being the ultimate defensive stabilizer. He is not there to create, he is there to destroy. Watch his movement. When Barcelona has the ball, he doesn't bomb forward blindly. He forms a back three, he tucks inside, he offers a passing lane, not a crossing threat. This isn't a limitation of his skill set, it is a feature of the system. By refusing to be the new Alves, Jules Koundé has solved the defensive fragility that plagued Barcelona for years. He provides the floor so others can provide the ceiling. But to truly understand why this works, we have to look back at history, because we have seen this movie before, just on the other side of the pitch. This is the pivotal moment of the tactical shift. Everyone remembers the Guardiola era for Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi. But tactically, that system relied on a specific asymmetry. Dani Alves went high on the right. Who balanced him? Eric Abidal on the left. Abidal was a center back converting to left fullback on occasions. He stayed deep. He tucked in. He allowed Alves to be an attacker because he ensured the defense remained solid and balanced. It was a perfect equilibrium. Now, look at Hansi Flick's Barcelona. The script has been flipped. Alejandro Balde is the new Alves, the athletic, overlapping, chaotic force on the left. So, who is the counterbalance? Jules Koundé is the new Eric Abidal. It is a symbolic shift. Kounde allows Balde to fly because he stays grounded. He provides the same security Abidal once did, just mirrored on the right flank. He is the lock on the door that allows the rest of the house to party. This comparison is vital because it redefines Koundé's value. He isn't a failed attacking fullback. He is a specialized defensive fullback, a role Abidal mastered to perfection. In a final twist that reveals the genius of this setup, Koundé's conservatism is exactly what allows the jewel of La Masia to shine. You're used to seeing fullbacks bombing forward, but Koundé? He does the exact opposite. So why does Hansi Flick instruct Koundé to hold back? It comes down to space. Lamine Yamal is a classic winger who needs isolation. He thrives in 1-versus-1 situations. If Kounde overlaps constantly like Alves did, he drags a second defender into Yamal's zone. He clogs the space. By staying deep, Kounde isolates Yamal. He gives him the entire touchline. And if Yamal loses the ball, Kounde is already in position to counter-press. He hasn't been caught upfield. In one moment, you realize it. Koundé's limitations are actually Yamal's biggest weapon. The Anti-Alves approach doesn't just secure the defense, it amplifies the attack by getting out of its way. Think about this. Is this the smartest way to use a fullback today, or are we missing something? Now, consider this. Would you rather have Kounde holding back or a traditional overlapping Alves type on the right? And finally, could this setup work with any other winger, or is Yamal uniquely suited to it? So, what's the lesson in this strange tale of Jules Koundé? For years, Barcelona was trapped in nostalgia, looking for a player who could bend time and bring back 2011. They failed because they were looking for a ghost. They didn't need another Alves. They needed balance. They needed a defender who took pride in the clean sheet rather than the assist. It was a statement, a rejection of the past to secure the future. Kounde isn't the right back Barcelona wanted, but as the new Eric Abidal, he is exactly the right back they needed. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Is Kounde the best defensive right back in the world, or do you still miss the flair of Alves? And if you're finding this tactical evolution as fascinating as I did, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. This is Pitchside Tales.